All right, and welcome. We are back live here on Talkback Live Network, Talkback Live Network Studios. I'm back in the building, man. Another show, another day, another Saturday. And, man, I'm glad to be back on with y'all again. Of course, y'all know, most of y'all know by now, but if you don't know, my name's Joshua Midgett. I'm here in the building, Talkback Live Network. And I'm back, man. Ready to talk some sports with y'all today. So much been going on, man. Just keeping busy and all those things, man. But I'm glad to be back with y'all here on today. It's been so much stuff I wanted to talk about coming up here that's been going on, specifically in the world of sports. A lot of stuff going on in the world too, and me and Bob gonna be back on here talking about some of those things here shortly as well, because you better believe Bob's biting to get back on as well. He says hello to all y'all, and matter of fact, he's watching right now. So y'all probably see him in the feed there. But yeah, man. So this is Talk Sports Live. Glad to be back once again, and man, it's an active time right now. Very active time right now. If you're a sports fan, now, of course we know NFL, all that stuff's over with. But we got the NBA full swing. Got college basketball, March Madness. It's beginning of March. So you know the madness is coming and is on the way. You got the Tigers basketball season wrapping up this weekend, as a matter of fact, as well, with the final game against Houston coming up tomorrow afternoon, actually tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. Against the Houston Cougars. So you know that's going to be big time. But a lot has happened since we last spoke. Since we last conversated about the state of local sports. So we're going to kind of talk about that a little bit. And I think there's no better way to kick this off. Hello, I see everybody. Let me shout everybody out first. GKP, my man, how you doing, brother? Good to talk to you again. Leon Mapstone is always in the building. What's good? Sabine Finster in the building. How you doing? Verdale, good afternoon to you as well. Frankie just came in the building. Just walked through the room there, and a good afternoon to you. Missed all of y'all, man. Glad to be back on here talking with y'all once again. And so I'm gonna kick it off with probably something that's really overtaken the sports world. And it's one of those things that as a Grizzlies fan, I don't think any of us ever expected to see something like this, right? And maybe you did, maybe you hoped it would happen at some point in your lifetime if you're a Grizz fan, that you would have this guy that would take over the sports world, such as John Morant has done. But I don't think anybody could have imagined that he would reach these heights this soon. Now, I know some people say, what heights? He hasn't won an MVP. He hasn't won a championship. He's only in his third year in the league. But this is what you mean. What I mean. If you've been following the Grizzlies ever since they first got here, which I have. I was a young little boy. I'll never forget watching the very first Memphis Grizzlies game on PAX. I don't know if people even remember PAX TV anymore. The Grizzlies used to broadcast on PAX. It was me and Bob sitting on the couch watching, with the Isaac Hayes singing and everything that went around that, Pau Gasol, Shane Battier, all those guys on the very first Grizzlies game, the home game that is, at the Pyramid. But when you have your own team, especially like the Grizzlies, most of the time, most of your joy, even though you root for the team to do well, but when it comes to star power and things like that, you usually, especially as a small market, you look outside in. And as a Grizzlies fan, even during the grit and grind era, we had our homegrown guys. We had guys that were Memphis stars that made some noise, and Zach Randolph made the all-star team. Marc Gasol as well, Defensive Player of the Year, things of that nature. Mike Conley couldn't get a honor higher than the Community Assist Award. You know what I'm saying? Being a community leader, not knocking that, but things of that nature. But we were always generally the underdogs, and most people, when the Grizzlies go on the road, they weren't coming to see Zebo. They weren't coming to see Marc Gasol. They were coming to see their team. And even in Memphis, you had people here when they went to the Forum, they went to see Kobe. They went to see Shaq. They went to see LeBron. The transcendent stars, because the Grizzlies never really had that guy. Even Pau Gasol, multiple-time All-Star as well. Not even close to being a transcendent, generational superstar. And I'll venture to say even Zach Randolph, was probably as close as we got to superstar level, at least in those couple of years where he was at the peak of his powers. But nobody that broke the culture. And what we have right now is a culture breaker and creator in Ja Morant. He's not just a guy that's ours. He's one of those guys that's ours and everybody wants him as well. He's one of those guys, perfect example, the game against Boston. And I know the Grizz lost that game. But as most accounted for, and even, people at the arena and all that stuff, when his name was introduced, they cheer. You don't see things like that go on for Grizzlies, but people are wearing his jerseys in every arena they go to. The Grizzlies' cachet as an organization has elevated dramatically just by having this guy on our team. And it's incredible to see. It's one of those things you just never really thought. You hope you would get lucky that maybe you sign somebody or trade for somebody. But this guy was drafted by this front office that has done a tremendous job of building this team from the ground up. And I think it means a lot more when it's done this way. I'm not necessarily knocking teams like Brooklyn or the Lakers or going back to the Miami Heat or even Boston back in the day when they went and traded for stars and got championships in those ways. But it just means a little bit more. It seems to mean just a little bit more when it's built organically. When all these guys are just trying to go championship hunt, hopping from team to team like James Harden. These guys, this team here was built. They drafted Bane. They drafted Ja. They drafted Dylan Brooks. You know what I'm saying? They drafted Jaren Jackson Jr. All these guys, this is all they know. And they want to make this the best that it can be. And when you have a guy like Ja in the middle of it, that, is one of the top 10 selling jerseys in the NBA, that has broke a record for Instagram views in NBA history. I mean, I think it was over 1 billion for one of his plays. I think it was the block shot against the Lakers where he jumped up with two hands. I think it was over 1 billion or 2 billion views, which broke Instagram records. And that's a Memphis Grizzly. Think about that for a second. I think we really need to take stock and appreciate. And I think lately, Memphis is beginning to appreciate it a little bit more as far as the city, as far as the attendance. The San Antonio game the other day, you're playing the Spurs. That game was packed. You know, it was packed because people started to appreciate, okay, I think we got a superstar in our own city. So maybe we need to start going to the games and quit playing around here. Not just that, you got a team that's a top 5 team in the NBA on top of all of that. So, it's just incredible to see the maturation of him. You talk about a leap from year to year, 1 to 2 and then 2 to 3. He's barely averaging 20 points a game, and now he drops up to near 30, averaging over 40 over the last few. And even in the loss to Boston, where he didn't play that well, he still had 38 points, going head up with Jason Tatum. So it is it's one of those things where I think we really need to take stock and appreciate what we're seeing. We got a top 5 MVP candidate, a top 10, I would say, player in the league right now. And one of those guys is going to be the face of the NBA going forward, if not already. So it's really incredible to see, man. Let me read some of these comments. I see y'all chiming in, and feel free to continue to do so. Let's see. Sabine Fenster says, Ja is amazing. He got me back watching the NBA. Verdell says it's great having a guy like Ja on the team. Also says feels good to say we got that dude on our team. It really does, man. It's weird. Sabine said, you telling the truth, Josh. Went to see the Grizzlies game to see D Rose back in the day. Yeah. It was always the other team. You know what I'm saying? You're going to see somebody else. But now the show is on our team. And more than likely, there's nobody else in the league that's going to top this show. And that's including guys like LeBron and Kevin Durant. And yeah, I said it, so y'all can disagree if you want to. GKP says he'll be a Laker in a few years. John Hump. See, there you go. Look, I ain't been on in so long, and here comes GKP with the hate and the negative. You see that? It's good to see some things don't change, man. But he ain't going nowhere, partner. I guarantee you, that man's gonna stay Grizz. Jet in the building. What's up, Jet, man? Good to see you. He says we do, man, and I'm the worst. They were on fire while the U of M was losing 6 in a row, but the whole time I was more concerned about the Tigers and wasn't checking for the Grizzlies. Yeah. And, it's such a weird dichotomy. I even saw on Twitter, and I still kind of see this a little bit. You got these guys that are, and look, I love the Tigers, right? But first of all, I love the Tigers. I'm going to talk about them a little later. I was talking with Bob about this the other day with the South Florida game. Do y'all know how hard it is to watch college basketball now? Is it just me? Are these games not terrible most of the time? I don't care if I love the Tigers or not. These other teams, it's just garbage. I don't know if it's the atmosphere. Like watching the South Florida game, it looked dingy. The court looked dingy. The camera looked dingy. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if the light bulbs ain't working or dim in the arena. What's going on? Some of these games just look dingy. They look dirty. They look like they ain't been washed. I ain't just talking about the players, but just the quality of the basketball games are dingy and raggedy. You got to catch the right game. Like the Houston-Memphis game in Houston. That was an excellent college basketball game. The Tigers have had a few of those here and there. That was exciting to watch. Even the Alabama blowout at the FedEx Forum. That was exciting. It was, I could watch it. It was clean. You know what I'm saying? South Florida game looked so dingy and raggedy. You know what I'm saying? The game, the arena, the South Florida jerseys, everything, just raggedy. I couldn't hardly watch it. But the Tigers did win, so I was happy about that. But yeah, Jed, it's almost like a thing where some people believe you can't be a Grizzlies and a Tigers fan. It's very weird. It's not like they have to play each other or anything. They're both in the same city. And I know the Tigers have been here much longer, but it's one thing about it. And I think this is something the Tigers have to watch for. I don't know if it's in their marketing or what. A lot more young folks care about the Grizzlies than the Tigers. The Grizz are a heck of a lot more exciting, and they're probably almost just as young as the Tigers. DeAndre Williams, the Tigers, probably older than most of the Grizzlies. Literally. So it's just I don't know. It's weird. I can't even really put my finger on it. Jet says looks like they were playing at the Mid-South Coliseum. Now, the way it looks now. Yeah, exactly. That place looks so dingy. Somebody out there racing on this beautiful Saturday. If y'all can hear that through the mic there. But anyway, man, so much going on. But look, again, I just want y'all to know. I want everybody to appreciate and be sure, if you haven't done it already, be sure you appreciate what you're seeing right now. Because this doesn't make any sense what the Grizzlies are doing. You got a superstar that looks like a combination of Allen Iverson and Derrick Rose leading your team. The athleticism of Derrick Rose and explosiveness of a Russell Westbrook. The speed and finishing ability of an Allen Iverson around the rim, under the rim, to the side of the rim. You know what I'm saying? And the killer instinct to finish games of a Kobe Bryant in some ways, the killer mentality. It's just very interesting mix that you got right here in John Morant. So be sure you appreciate that and this team. in no way possible. I've said this before, and it's the first time I'm actually getting to say it on the show. Whenever you see in the NBA, most of the time, most teams that I've watched coming up, and even the example I like to use is the Oklahoma City Thunder back when they drafted KD, James Harden, and Westbrook, had Serge Ibaka, and they started to build up, but they started young, and they had to go through the ropes. They had to lose early before they could win. Even when they had the 50 wins, I remember the Grizz were the 9 seed, that young team with Rudy Gay, OJ Mayo, Mike Conley, guys like that. They were almost there, but not quite a playoff team. The Thunder were a playoff team. They were the 8 seed. I remember playing the number 1 seed, Los Angeles Lakers, the time that was Kobe and Pau Gasol. And even though KD and Westbrook and Harden, they were really, really good, but they just couldn't get over the hump over the old heads. And I think that's something that you really got to think about going forward. Usually that's been the case. That's what I'm bringing up. That's usually the case. And there's a lot of other examples that you can look at. But you don't really see where one year the Grizz were the 8th seed last year, and they won in Utah. But even that was a step ahead of where anybody thought they were going to be. Nobody thought they were going to be a team that would beat Golden State and go to the playoffs and compete with the number 1 seed Utah Jazz. And this year, the expected step up was, okay, it'll be cute if the Grizz make it in. Hold on, block number. Hold on, GKP. I actually don't have the app up. Hold on, man. You know we ain't going to block you. Let's see if I can get you up now. But usually there are steps taken to get to a certain level. But now, this team is a top 5 team in the NBA. That is crazy. And this is not a fluke because they're continuing to do it all year. I think they're 20-7 since the beginning of this calendar year. So there's just really, really crazy stuff that's going on. And I think that needs to be credit to the front office, credit to Coach Jenkins. Nobody talks about Coach Taylor Jenkins, but he has done an amazing job with this team. But let me go to the phone lines. And there's some music playing for some reason. Let me fix that. First time back on, people. I appreciate you. Here we go.
Call from.
Oh, man. See, I think he hung up for. We got him on, man. Call back, brother. We got you here. But, so, I think that was GKP or whoever that was. Be sure you call back. 901-213-6020. We got the phone app ready to go now. But yeah, man, so it's just incredible to see. Kelly Reddick, what's going on, sir? Good to see you on this Saturday. And why is it 80 degrees outside, man? Let me unbutton this shirt a little bit, man. It is starting to feel like summer a little bit. Gotta love it, man. It's not freezing anymore. About as hot as the Grizzlies have been. And really as hot as the Tigers have been. As much as I'm talking about how bad college basketball looks. The Tigers have been on fire. They've only lost, 1 game out of their last 9 or 10? The last time we came to you, we were criticizing Penny. And looking at what the problem was. And now they seem to have figured some things out and come together. As you see there, people were killing Alex Lomax, including myself in some degree, not as much as some. But I still always felt like he was our best point guard. And as you see, he has come back. He's cut down the turnovers. And now he's, becoming the floor general that people waited almost 4 years to see him be. I mean, he's a couple of games ago, he had 6 assists and 2 turnovers or 1 turnover. So it's really amazing to see how this team has come together. And it makes you wonder why is it happening now and not earlier? And maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe we should just be grateful that it's happening at all. I don't know. But we'll see, man. But Just kind of focusing on the Grizz right now. But whatever y'all want to talk about, feel free to join me. 901-213-6020. GKP, if you did try to call, hit me back. We got it all straightened out as of now. So we should be good to go. But yeah, man, a lot of stuff going on, and there's some weird breaking news as well. Just to put this out there, I don't have the picture for it yet because literally I'm seeing more and more people talking about it as I came on the air. But before we do that, let's go to the phone lines and we'll talk about that news.
Call from
Ja Humbug.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
All right, we got Ja Humbug, a.k.a. the hater on the line. What's going on, brother?
Man, y'all already know who it is, man. What's good with it, brother?
Man, I'm good. It's good to hear your voice. Despite the hating and all that, it's still good to hear your voice, man.
Well, I hope so, and I hope you don't have your father working switchboard, because, I mean, come on, man. This guy here. Is he sitting in the corner, man, scratching his head or what, man? Because, I mean, come on. Get the phone lines up, man. You're not on the show today, okay? Don't do it. Don't do Josh like that. Josh, take care of your boys, man, when you on here. I'm sure he's lurking. Okay?
Yeah, he is around. Definitely. He's always around. I saw him in the comments there. I'm sure he's going to be saying
make sure
something.
You don't trying to watch your views and stuff. Yeah, the numbers go up a little bit, man, when he's on here by himself. I mean, hey, it is what it is, man. You the OG. You're the old guy. You know what I mean? You got to be quick on your feet when you're on these kind of things, man. You know? But, hey, listen, man, this is what I'm calling in to say. I'm going to get my call on over with her because I hear these type of things every year. And just to hear you spew, as Stephen A. would say, spew the disrespect to players like Shane Battier and Al Gasol and Mark Gasol and Tony Allen and all of these Miles Swift.
Yeah, my boy.
Like that, man.
Straw Show.
Now all of a sudden you get John to build him, man, and let's forget about all of those guys, man.
Look, I didn't say that.
We've never had a superstar here on the Grizzlies. Yes, you have. You send them all away, and they go win titles with other teams.
Ooh, okay. Look, name one.
One to play. Al has left and won. Mark has left and won. Let's see.
Where the superstars at though?
Won before he came. Man, these guys are integral stars, man.
That's star. Look,
I mean, you done put Ja up in the top 5, man, in his first 3 years.
Yes,
man, he just got here, dude. Give the guy some time, man. He's gonna be a Laker like everybody else.
See, that's where it's all coming from, right there. You trying to get him to do the Pau Gasol? They try to do the science.
You know what's gonna happen, brother. Come on, man. Memphis ain't never been able to hold stars. That's the problem.
No,
then
look.
You disrespect Zebo.
Zebo, my boy, man. Zebo was my favorite player ever when he was here. That was I'll never forget the 2011. You know what I'm saying? The game with the step backs, what he retired Antonio McDyess. I remember that he's the OG. But even Zebo knows that he ain't got nothing on what Ja was. None of them were superstars. None of them. Powell wasn't.
Oh my God.
Mark wasn't.
This guy here.
None of them were
close. Gasol is not a superstar?
Never.
Al Gasol has never been a superstar?
Never.
Him and Kobe go and win 2 championships together?
It was a great fit.
Without Shaq?
Yeah.
I mean, come on, man.
Look, they worked well together.
Kobe, Shaq.
Look, they did. I think they went back to back. But look, here's the thing. You don't got to be a superstar. He was what Kobe needed. And he was very good. He wasn't no superstar. He was an all-star. Just because you're an all-star doesn't mean you're a superstar. I'm just telling you. And nobody can touch what Ja is now in the history of the team. And I know all the history. I can name guys like Gordon Garachek and Wesley Person. You know what I'm saying? I know deep in the, James Posey. I loved all those guys, man.
Come on, man. come on. Mike Conley, you disrespect
Yes.
Mike Conley, all he meant to the city.
My boy, the
You know what I mean?
captain.
And they throw him away because they got jobs.
Yes.
Come on now.
If it
And
came
look what
down,
Mike Conley is continuing to do in Utah.
he's doing.
Come on, man.
He's being Mike Conley. He's at steady 17, 18 points a game. You know what I mean? And doing his thing. And I'm not going to knock y'all. You ain't going to make me act like I'm disrespecting Conley because I'm not.
You disrespecting these guys, man. You came clean on your show and say, hey, we've never seen a star like this. This is on the map. We have the man.
Yes.
I mean, come on, man.
Never.
This kid is okay. I like him. I
know you do.
Hey. You know, I just know what's going to happen. And when his contract comes, there's going to be a higher bidder, and he's going elsewhere, dude.
No, sir. You ain't going to do that to me. You ain't going to do this to me. Cause, look, do you know the tears that will be shed? I would probably get on there and cry if that ever happened. I'm not even going to lie to you. But it ain't going to happen, GK.
Get ready. Get your water rag ready.
No.
Because that's what happens to these guys. I mean, you know, Memphis is just not a keeping town, man. You know, they get into hype. We love it while it's happening. I mean, because we've had some exciting. And look at me saying we. I don't really care about it.
I know. When did this happen? That's what I was about to say.
I live here. So what I'm saying, we've had some exciting teams here in this city. Some teams that could have possibly went all the way.
Yeah, I agree.
Have been in the top. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man.
We went to the Western Conference Finals.
Nothing new. Nothing new.
Look, this is new. I ain't gonna lie to you. Now we've been good. Okay. We've been tops in the West. We've been, we even made a Western Conference Finals run. I understand all that, But this right here is new because this ain't the slow grit and grind. I love grit and grind, but this ain't that. This ain't a bunch of old vets doing their thing. This is a young, exciting Grizzlies team. And they have never been this exciting. Ever. Even Rudy Gay, my boy OJ.
Rudy Gay, come on, man.
Rudy was my boy. Rudy was my boy when everybody hated on him. I still defend Rudy. I don't think we should have traded him when we did. But all of that being said, they can't touch. You line up the best team from the grit grind era against this team. I don't think they could beat them. I think it would be interesting, but I don't think they could beat these guys. Now, some of y'all might disagree with that. But
I'll be one, because you're predicating it all around Ja. You should have named this show not Talk Sports Live, but Talk Ja Live. Because that's how you come in here. And yes, it's probably bittersweet for me because I hate the fact that he put up 52 on one of my teams the other night. But let's just face it. Hey, it is what it is. They was kind of cheating to DeJounte Murray. You know what I'm saying? And then you talk about everybody in the building to see Ja. You must forget San Antonio got an all-star. DeJounte Murray was coming to
look, first of all, did he even play in the all-star game? I was looking for him.
Did.
I didn't even see him out there.
And he also put up interesting numbers. He put up more than Ja.
Well, look, Ja
came out there and did a few dunks. But other than that,
a few incredible.
My guy contributed to the All-Star game a lot more than your guy. Look at the stats.
I feel like, and I didn't talk about this, but I feel like there was some hating going on. They sat John in the fourth quarter. That didn't make no sense at all.
That's because he is who we thought he is. A nice player.
No. He would have won that game.
You want to crown him? Then crown him. Ja Morant is who we think he is.
Okay, Danny Green.
Future Laker.
Look, who wants to join them sorry Lakers? Did you see them the other day? Did you see what Reggie Jackson, one of the Jacksons,
hey,
one of Michael's little brothers.
Team.
Yeah.
You know I'm a Clipper. I love every bit of it because they're just that sorry that we can blow them out 7 games in a row.
Yeah.
And the last 3 have been without our stars.
Yeah.
Or 4, maybe. I want to say 4 without both of them.
Both of them, yeah.
So, hey, the Lakers are trash. Everybody knew what was going to happen.
Exactly.
I mean, you put a bunch of old guys. It's like having a bunch of Bobs on a team. You know what I'm saying? So, it's not going to work. You know what I'm saying? You got to get some young flavor. If Bob didn't have you in the building, then you know what I'm saying. Oh man, it might be numbers might be low, but don't tell him I said that. But you got to know how to mix it up a little bit. And the Lakers are just like having a bunch of Bobs on the team.
Man,
you know what I'm saying?
You wrong. You're gonna end up getting him jumping in. But
he over there itching. Hey man, whoa. Would you let him do his show? You've been on the phone long enough. Let somebody else call. Don't ever call. Something like that. You know how he'll do. So yeah, let me ease up off the OG. Man.
Oh man.
It's been cool, but I'll talk to you soon about
all
this.
Right.
Like I said, y'all get all hype all the time.
Yeah.
But you know Jay Worth is watching.
Yes.
Okay.
I do. And I hope we play the Clippers again because we've been whooping them. But hey man, I appreciate the call, brother, as always, man.
Hey man, thanks for having. Hey Vicky, let me speak to her before I get off. You know, because she's not only a fan of y'all, she's a fan of mine too. I see her speaking there. Hey Vicky, you enjoy your Saturday, girl. You out and about.
Yeah, see,
I already know who it is.
I ain't gonna say what you're trying to do, but we're gonna this is the conversation for later. But all right, GKP.
Hey, if me and Vicky happen to run into each other while we're out and about, that's our business, okay?
Look,
goodbye. You're telling too much.
I know. She said, "Hey, sweetheart," too. So y'all be careful out there.
Oh Lord. Goodbye. Y'all already know.
Oh man, there he is, GKP. Starting mess, as always. Jed says, "Speak to me, man." LOL. Surprised he didn't say nothing to you, man. Bono, let's see. Let me read some more of these comments that have been coming in while GKP hogged the airways. Let's see. Jet says, "Please, none of them," put up on the screen, "none of them received MVP chance in our arena, let alone others' arena." Exactly. Ja was in Brooklyn. With Kevin Durant and them over there, they were chanting MVP there. Come on now, Boston, where they hit everybody that comes in, they're cheering him. People wearing Ja jerseys in the crowd. I'm just telling you, man, you got to be real. Frankie says, John and his parents love Memphis. John has said that he doesn't like big cities. He doesn't. And that's why I think this is a perfect fit. He's a small town guy. Small town South Carolina. He ain't looking for the stars. He ain't looking for the moon. He ain't a James Harden that changes at the blow of the wind. If the wind ain't right and blows his beard to the left too far, James Harden is leaving you to go to another city. That's not Ja. That's what I like about this team. That's what I like about this guy right here. So, anyway, let's see what else Jack got. He says Allen Iverson, Sean Livingston, Andre Iguodala. Yeah, all of Grizz GKP favorite Grizzlies. Oh my God, man! Did Livingston he never played for us either? At least AI played a couple of games on the road. I remember them games like they were yesterday. I actually thought he was going to be good here, man. But he didn't want to sit behind baby Mike Conley, which I could somewhat understand at the time. Conley had no respect in the league at the time. Nobody really knew who he was. But Coach Holland stuck by him, and we saw how that ended up working out in a very good way. So it is what it is. Vicky says that's our business. What him and her GKP got going on. Hey, look, I'm not hating. I'm just saying. Watch out for guys like GKP. You know what I mean? You know. But anyway. But shout out to everybody, man. Glad to see everybody coming in and joining the conversation. Quick thing I want to bring up, and then we'll move on to some more things. And I believe the Grizz play tonight too. Y'all let me know if you know who they play tonight. I'm sure I had that information here in a minute. But you got some weird news here that's coming out of Russia, and it's sports related. So WNBA star Brittany Griner, you may remember her. She was a superstar at Baylor and plays for the Phoenix Mercury WNBA team. She has been arrested in Russia on drug charges. It says here, according to MSN, WNBA All-Star Brittany Griner was arrested last month at Moscow airport after Russian authorities said a search of her luggage revealed vape cartridges, which you know is the electric That the player and did not those. We are aware of this with Brittany in Russia and our close with her legal representation in Russia, her family, teams, and WNBA and the NBA, says her agent calls on to quote, as an ongoing legal matter, we are not able to comment further on the specifics of her case, but can confirm that as we work at her home, her mental and physical health remain our primary concern. On Saturday, reading some more here, the State Department, they do not travel advisory for Russia because of its invasion of Ukraine and urge all U.S. citizens to depart immediately, citing factors including, quote, the potential for harassment against U.S. citizens by Russian government security officials. So you may wonder why she's in Russia, in case some of y'all are wondering that bit of information. Even I was thinking the same thing. She plays for the Phoenix Mercury in the NBA, in the WNBA. But she's also played for Russia for the last 7 years in the winter, where she earns over $1 million per season, which is more than quadruple. Let me say that again, quadruple her WNBA salary. She last played for her Russian team, UMMC, on January 29th before the league took a 2-week break in early February for the FIBA World Cup qualifying tournament. Man, so there are a lot of other WNBA players playing in Russia and Ukraine as well. So all the players except Brittany Griner had left both countries that were playing over there. So very interesting developments. I definitely pray she's all right, stays okay, because this is it's very weird. And the weird thing about it, they say she was arrested a month ago, but the news just came out today that she was arrested. So it makes you wonder what's going on, why the late delay in letting anybody know about what's going on. But that's a very dangerous situation because the unpredictability of the Russian government at this time, especially in a war situation. So I don't know, man. Definitely hope she is okay, and definitely all prayers out to her and her family and anybody else who's involved in that situation, because it is very, very ugly over there right now. So once again, this is Talk Sports Live. I'm your host, Joshua Midgett, here in the building talking some stuff, man. I was just talking about the Grizzlies, talking Tigers, and everything else that's going on. But let me go to the Tigers side of things a little bit here. Spend most of the time on the Grizz. Let's not forget that we got our Tigers over here. And look, let's think about this. Let's think about what's happening. So, if y'all remember, I believe last time we were on, the Tigers and Penny Hardaway were really struggling. It was to the point where people were like, okay, Penny, you got to get it together now. You know, the struggle was real. He was cursing everybody out, you know, and the infamous press conference that went viral and all that stuff. So people were beginning to wonder, okay, Penny, this is time to put up or shut up. And literally, since the infamous press conference where he cursed out Jeff Calkins and anybody else who's a hater, they have been on an unbelievable stretch of winning. And they're looking to continue it. There's only one game left in the regular season before the conference tournament. And at this point, one has to think, at least in my opinion, I feel like the Tigers should be safely in the NCAA tournament for the first time since Penny Hardaway has been the head coach. And that's all we've been talking about. That's all we've been wanting. Get to the tournament. Get to the tournament. Get to the tournament, because the talent can speak for itself when the season grinds on. And I think that's what's shown itself over the last few weeks. The talent has been overwhelming. And not only that, because sometimes talent loses if they don't work together. I don't know what it is about Penny in late in the season, the second half of the season, but everything seems to work Look at last year. They got it working late. They still made it to the NIT. Ended up winning the NIT championship, but it started in the regular season. And they finished last year as one of the hottest teams in college basketball. It was pretty close to making it if they had a few big wins earlier in that year. So you come into this year and you expect that to carry over. It didn't. They looked terrible in stretches. They look good. They look bad. They look good. They look bad. To the point that you thought this thing was going to fall apart again, and then you have the stretch. So I don't know what to say when it comes to Penny and late in these seasons, but he's a late season master. I mean, I think that's the only thing you can say. You got to give him credit. You can't just sit up here and say it's all talent. Talent is a big part of it, but clearly the talent wasn't enough to get it working earlier. But now everything's moving pretty smooth, and it's even without Imani Bates, who was supposed to be the top guy coming in, freshman coming in when you talk about this class and guys like that. But really the top guy has been Jalen Duren, the big man down low, crazy athletic, does not look like he's just turning 18 years old. So you put all that into account, you got to give Penny a lot of credit for what he's done with this team, with this roster, because you got to look at the adversity, man. And I know, look, as much as I criticize, man, I don't back down from the things that I said previously. But when the situation changes, you have to be fair about what you see. And what I see is a coach that got down and made the changes necessary to do what he needed done. Now, in some reports I've read that he gave Larry Brown more say-so in the offense, hence the improvement. To me, you see a lot of that improvement on the defensive end, because usually most of these years under Penny, the Tigers were very good on the defensive end. That was, if anything, defense was the main thing they did do well. This year was not quite the case. Up until recently, they've been playing a lot better on the defensive end, but I think offensively it's been more of a key in my opinion. Because look, and I think this may shock y'all. You may end up in shock after I tell you this. But number 10 right there, Alex Lomax, I think he's a big reason why. The man that everybody blamed for how terrible they were playing. The man that they said, get him out of here. You know what I'm saying? The man that said, don't let him touch the court ever again. Don't think there weren't people saying that, because they were. Especially after that attempted game winner weeks ago. But Lomax has come back and has balled out. And I'm not necessarily talking about scoring, because he's never been a scorer, but assisting, managing the game, bringing things under control at the right moments in the right situations. Got to give him credit for that. You got to. You can see a clear difference when he's on the floor as opposed to when he's not, and when he's playing the right way. It's key. There's a huge contrast between him and Tyler Harris at the point guard position. They both can play it, but they play it differently. Tyler is frantic, is twitchy, is crazy athletic and crazy explosive when it comes to shooting and scoring. But he can be kind of out there when it comes to managing the team. Lomax focuses on managing the team, getting players in the positions where they need to be, moving the ball. All of that stuff that you need with the way the Tigers play, especially in half-court situations, which they're not that great in. You need somebody that can control and kind of put a pause on things. And he's a leader as well. Matter of fact, Penny said he's going to be the only guy walking on senior day, which is tomorrow. So that's going to be a pretty cool moment. Tomorrow as well, the Tigers have a whiteout planned where everybody comes. They're going to wear their Tiger white, in the crowd. So that's going to create a cool atmosphere with Houston coming to town. Houston has not lost, by the way, since the Tigers beat them weeks ago. Tigers beat them. They were the first team to beat Houston at home in over, I believe, 3 years, 2.5, 3 years. And since then, Houston has not lost a game. Houston's looking really good, like the good team they are. Kelvin Sampson, really good coach, despite all the stuff he's done other places, but he's a really good coach when it comes down to it. So if the Tigers, to me right now, they're an NCAA tournament team, whether they beat Houston or not. But if they beat Houston Sunday, I don't care what happens in the conference tournament. They could lose the first game. I don't want that to happen, but they could lose the first game in the conference tournament. I think they're in the NCAA tournament. They've got enough really good wins at the right time. And I think they've proved themselves to be that team. And just beating Houston just puts the cherry on top. If you can finish it up coming up tomorrow morning. It's a morning game, so you know how that goes sometimes. So I'm looking forward to seeing that, man. How do you guys feel about the Tigers basketball team now? I know some of y'all were talking about it a little earlier, but how do y'all feel about them now? You feel a little different than you did before? Do you think Penny has improved as a coach? Do you think he did what was necessary to make the changes needed to see the progress that we've seen thus far? Or do you think they just got lucky? Do you think it's just talent-based? Because I've heard all arguments when it comes to that. Even the South Florida game. I talked about how ugly and dingy and nasty and raggedy that game looked. But with all that being said, the Tigers did win. But it got kind of ugly late. You know, they let some baskets go that they shouldn't have. But that happens to everybody, you know. I almost think the Tigers get a microscope looked at them when it comes to certain things like that. He didn't finish perfect. Who does? Pro and college, these teams slack off when they get a big lead, unfortunately, and don't finish like they should most of the time, I feel like, no matter who you are. It's just one of those things that ends up happening. So I'm not going to criticize them too much for that. But we'll see, man. One thing I will say, when it comes to the big games, it seems like this team really gets up for them. That they really do. They really get up for the big matchups. And the home court advantage is a big deal. It's almost like none other in college, where you got an 18,000-seat arena, NBA arena, full of people screaming and yelling. And when FedEx Forum is popping, you can't beat it. When FedEx Forum is really on and popping, it's like nothing else in the country and extremely intimidating. Now, I know Houston, I don't know if they can get intimidated or not, but that it's going to be quite an atmosphere for sure. Kelly Reddick says, I stand by the Tigers now, just like I did during the rough times. I knew this team was going to get it together. There you go, Kelly. Your faith has paid off, no doubt, and they look really, really good right now. Frankie says, I hope if the Tigers beat Houston tomorrow, it will get them off the last four in. Yeah, I agree with that 100%. Got Bob in the building. What's going on, Pop? And he said, Tigers are better than they know they are. That's a really good point. I actually agree with that. 100%. I do think they're better than they probably think they are. You know, and hopefully it seems like now they've kind of come to grips with what they can be. And, you know, you're seeing it, man. Look, they got a team right now, size-wise, length-wise, skill level-wise, all of that stuff. They shouldn't be afraid of anybody. Anybody.
Call from.
Go Tigers, go.
To accept, press 1.
We got Go Tigers, go on the line, who seems to have a affinity for hating Larry Brown. But what's going on, man?
Y'all already know who it is. I just decided to call back and let my guy Kelly know that it was me and him that stood by these Tigers when there are certain people who jumped out. That's what I'm just going to say it like he really wanted to say it. You know what I'm saying? These wishy-washy Tiger fans need to go, okay?
Hold
if
on
you're
now.
going to be a Tiger fan, be a Tiger fan full force.
Look.
And everybody's jumped on the Tigers all year. One week we're in, 3 weeks we're out, okay?
Look.
Me and Kelly have stood by them since game one. We knew what it was going to be. And I told y'all Penny deserved to curse that guy out that day. And that's what it took.
Hey, hold on
okay?
now. Hold on. So you saying you stood by your man And Penny Hardaway.
I stood by.
Hey.
Hey, I still got the doll, okay? I'm one of the original owners of the doll, okay?
Okay. You got the Chris Rock. But all right, hold on now.
Now, what?
Hold on now. So I got a comment here from Bob. Bishop Bob Midgett in the comments says GKP needs them put on the screen. GKP needs to go away. You put go 3 times. So
did he hear that?
Hold on, is that the dog for real?
I'm one of the original owners. Listen here. Oh, that.
I'm tripping. That's crazy.
And I added one more to it. Listen at this one.
All right.
No stupid questions. Okay.
I don't know how you put that one. You updated the top.
Yeah. I had to go into the database and, change it up a little bit.
Yeah, I bet.
That one is in there too. Don't ask me no stupid questions, okay? When you know what's going on.
Look,
we're winners, buddy.
Look, Betty said, "Stop playing with me, bro. You know who I am." But look, all that being said, man, I already know you were ready to throw Penny away. Just admit it. You were ready to get Penny on out of here.
Never.
You were on the team.
Never.
You ready?
That's my man.
Okay, all right. Standing by your man. I'm not judging whatsoever. Vicky, I was laughing at you as well. I know y'all special bond.
She can laugh. She has permission to. Anybody else, there could be problems. Okay. You can do that for okay. Yeah, original owner. I bet you can't find but one other person probably in this city with this, and that's my brother that bought it with me. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I'm impressed you got it on just sitting there, like you just carry it around, which I respect it. I respect it, man.
Yes, sir. I have that. Now, true fan. You feel me?
That's real. I can't even knock it. Now Kelly says here, I'm gonna read this. He said, "I was hot with leaving the Ole Miss game when them sucker fair weather fans was talking fire Penny. I had to talk bad to a few Tiger fans for saying that dumb stuff." So basically, Kelly had to go Penny Hardaway on him. I understand.
Simple, and rightfully so. You know what I'm saying? I don't blame Kelly, and he's probably a lot bigger man than me.
Yeah.
If they left out without any, kind of swollen lips or something. Okay?
Yeah.
Don't do the brother like that. This brother worked hard like he told the man. I'm trying to get this thing together. Y'all want to come out here and mock me about what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Imani Bates has been out of the mix too. Everybody got to realize that. And who knows, maybe that kind of benefited them because they had a lot of squabble going on about, Bates and Durant.
That's true.
So what Penny decided to do, of course, he had too many point guards to me anyway, because if you promised Bates was going to be your guy and you brought Tyler Harris back, Lomax, of course, in his senior year, there were some decisions that should have been made firmly from the start. You know what I'm saying? I think that's where the mix-up kind of happened.
I agree.
I think Bates is an awesome player, and there will be a place for him, but I just think Penny had to kind of make some decisions. I know they saying he hurt and this, that, and that, but it's bigger than that. Trust me. It's just the fact that the team has found some chemistry.
Yes.
Go ahead.
I agree 100%. I'm glad you brought that up, too, because, the Bates thing has been a big mystery, right, kind of hanging over. And I guarantee you, if they hadn't been winning, if they would have been losing, this would have been a much bigger distraction because they haven't been asking too many questions because they're winning. If they are losing, these folks are going to bring that up like crazy because his father – I really feel like, and I don't know the folks, but I feel like they tried to make this an issue by going to the media, talking to ESPN, saying it's back and stuff like that. But I feel like I wouldn't be surprised if when the season's over and the tournament and everything else, he transfers or enters the transfer.
He's out of here.
Yeah.
Oh, well, listen, that's probably 85% of what's going to happen. I don't think the kid's going to hang around. I think like I said, whatever his expectations were coming in. But I'll give you this too, though. Him and Durant seem to be pretty stuck together.
Yeah.
Like glue now.
That's true.
So who knows? Durant, I'm thinking probably gonna go ahead and enter that draft if he's smart. I mean,
Yeah,
he
he
really
needs
ain't got
to.
a bunch of
Yeah.
players that are, significant.
With the signal. Okay, I think it's back now. At the end of the day, what's best for you? Y'all know if you see any trouble with the signal going up and down there. So might be a Wi-Fi. But nonetheless, I do agree with that. Now, Duran, I feel like he was going to leave for the draft regardless. And with the way he's playing, he's been dominant down low. And there's been a lot of talk about his draft positioning. He's definitely a first round pick right now, if not even higher. So I'd be shocked if he comes back, especially if Bates ends up transferring as well, because it did kind of come together. But what about it? Duran definitely does not seem to be deterred, despite all that other extra stuff going on that may or may not be going on with Bates. Duran seems very focused and very committed to the cause of this team, and I think that's a very, very important thing to look at when it comes to the whole picture of the Tigers. So we'll see, man. But I'm really glad GKP brought that up about Bates, because that was something I wanted to get to as far as some people's thoughts on that. And again, y'all let me know how the signal is, where you are, and how you're watching. So I make sure everything's good for everybody that is participating. I think I could see what one of the problems is right now as I'm looking, but nonetheless, we get that probably afterwards. But look, here's the thing. Here's one more thing I want to get to before I get up out of here. Just want to come through, and I'm definitely going to be doing this more coming soon. You're going to see me and Bob a lot more here in the weeks and months. So y'all stay tuned for some of the content we got coming at you here for Talk Back Live with Bob and Josh, Talk Back Live Network, and things of that nature. But I got one more thing I want to talk about, and it's coming up. It's a little while. The Southern Heritage Classic. The Southern Heritage Classic. So it's coming up in quite a while. I mean, it's not like it's coming up around the corner. It's coming up in September, as always. And this is going to be the last year that Jackson State University is in the Classic. Now, Deion Sanders had some things to say about the Southern Heritage Classic and why Jackson State will not be participating in the future. And I'm really curious what some of y'all think about what Deion had to say. Now, I'm going to see if I can pull this clip up here and kind of fast forward a little bit as I'm rolling through. But y'all let me know what y'all think about Coach Prime and some of the things he had to say in this clip. Let me expand it a little bit. And y'all let me know what you think. Here we go.
Classic.
Orange Blossom, they did us right.
Great classic.
Yeah, great
classic.
classic.
Game will be on Sunday.
Mhm.
Again, be live.
ESPN, y'all better ESPN. Anything after 2, don't even call us. Anything after ESPN 2, we don't want it. Keep it. We don't even want it. Who else we got after that?
Then we going down to Memphis to play Texas.
Yeah, that's gonna be for the last time.
Yeah.
Last time we go down there. Right. Because when we go down there, we take how many buses for the band?
7.
7 buses for the band. For the band, I'm sorry. 7 buses for the band. We have 4 buses, right?
Mm-hmm.
With all our people. And who else goes? Administration, and we hotel accommodations, food, all that.
And about 40,000 Jackson State alone.
Right, but by the time we get back, we broke.
Right.
So that we gonna stop all that. Just so y'all know. just so y'all know, it's got to be equitable for for us at Jackson. We got to do business now. Right.
So what y'all think about that? And I may replay in case y'all didn't get the full gist of what Deion was saying. But basically, he's like, hey, look, it costs too much for us to go down there. And essentially, we're not making enough in return on that investment of going to the Southern Heritage Classic, which I don't know. Is that a knock at the city of Memphis? Is that a knock at how Memphis is doing business? Fred Jones, whoever's in charge of the whole thing, the Liberty Bowl, the university. What do y'all think about what Deion is saying? Does he have a point? I'm gonna play it again for y'all in case y'all didn't hear it.
Anything after 2, don't even call us. Anything after ESPN 2, we don't want it. Keep it. We don't want it. Who else we got after that?
Then we going down to Memphis to play Texas.
Yeah, that's gonna be for the last time.
Yeah.
The last time we're going down there. Right. Because when we go down there, we take how many buses for the band?
7.
7 buses for the band. I'm sorry. 7 buses for the band. We have 4 buses, right?
Mm-hmm.
With all our people. And who else though? Administration, and we hotel accommodations, food, all that.
And about 40,000 Texas State alone.
Right, but by the time we get back, we broke.
Right.
So that we gonna stop all that. Just so y'all know. just so y'all know. It's got to be equitable for for us at Jackson. We got to do business now. Right.
So that's interesting. So I wonder what the payout is for those types of things. Because you got something that brings, I think somebody said like $30 million to Memphis in the Heritage Classic. It's a big deal for the city, makes a lot of money for a lot of businesses and a lot of people, seemingly except for the schools involved. And the one thing about Deion Sanders, he's about his money and about the money of the school, what they spend money on and what they don't. And according to him, it seems like he feels it's a big old waste of time to be doing all this and not getting a return on your investment. So what do you think? I saw something, and I'm not 100% sure if this is true. I had to do some more research that each school, JSU and TSU, get $250,000 for the game. At least that was in the previous agreement. Now, I would imagine with them talking about 7 buses for the band and 5 for the team and the administration, just that alone is a lot of money, let alone everything else that they have to do. Is that a fair dividend for the Heritage Classic? Do you think Memphis should do more to keep people like Deion Sanders coming and making the Heritage Classic even more of an attraction? Because last year, you got to admit, the whole country, the Heritage Classic is always a big deal, especially for the alumni of both schools. But last year was even bigger than that because you had Eddie George at TSU, who's still there, of course, and Deion Sanders. You got 2 guys, Hall of Famers. Eddie George, potentially soon to be Hall of Famer, big time star in the NFL, Ohio State, Heisman winner, all that. Deion Sanders, one of the greatest football players ever play, coaching at HBCU. You got 2 of them going head up in Memphis, and just that alone is going to bring a lot of attention. Frankie, and thank you for that, Frank. I thought it was 2 or 3, 350,000 for each school. I appreciate you telling me that. I knew it was either 2 or 3. I read that earlier before the show. I just couldn't quite remember what it was. Do y'all think that's fair? Let's see. Bob in the building says, if they, Memphis and Fred Jones, don't do better, they will lose the entire classic game. Now that's interesting. Because if Jackson State, let's think about this now. If Jackson State feels this way and Deion Sanders feels this way, how does Tennessee State feel? Do they feel like they haven't been compensated enough for what they put in? Or what? Because a lot of things in college football, I know this isn't necessarily dealing with the NCAA, but just in general, a lot of times they're taking more than they're giving, meaning they're receiving all this money from the schools and these players and these games and these ticket sales and these jersey sales and these merchandise, all of that. Just give, take. And when it comes to giving back, a lot of times in certain situations, it's not always equitable. And I think Deion is basically saying this. We're broke when we come back after going down there. Now, a lot of people are feeling like, hey, this is a big old tradition. And, it shouldn't matter about that stuff. Matter of fact, let me read Kelly's comment here. Kelly says, wow, I didn't see the interview until now. Wow, 30 plus years of the Southern Heritage Classic and one team is going to pull out. Nowadays, college football, just like all sports, is all about the money and revenue, but can understand where he is coming from. But the fans of those schools probably would love to continue it. And that's just my point, really. I'm sure they would. One thing about Deion I really like, though, is he don't care what you think. You can tell he's even laughed about it. We ain't going to Memphis no more. Memphis, we ain't going to Memphis. And some folk in Memphis took exception to that. But I don't think he was knocking the city. I think he's knocking the lack of money that they're getting in return. You know what I'm saying? When it came down to it. And the amount of money that they spent coming to Memphis. And I'll just play this clip one more time. He didn't do this whole video on that, but he did talk about several things. And this is what I respect. He said, we're not accepting no games from ESPN if it's any lower than ESPN2. If you're going to put us on some ESPN news or some ESPN that nobody watches, we're not taking it. So Deion is saying, accept me for my worth that I'm bringing to this school and your network. Don't put me on no ESPN Deportes or the Ocho like in the Dodgeball movie. Put me on the big ESPN, ESPN2, which is what they did last year. They even had them on ABC for one game. But again, in case y'all didn't hear what Deion said about the Southern Heritage Classic and him basically saying, I ain't studying that mess if y'all ain't paying me what I think we need. Here is some of that clip. Let me go back a little bit here so y'all get the full extent of it.
ESPN, y'all better ESPN. Anything after 2, don't even call us. Anything after ESPN 2, we don't want it. Keep it. We don't want it. Who else we got after that?
Then we going down to Memphis to play.
Yeah, that's gonna be for the last time.
Yeah.
The last time we go down there. Right. Because when we go down there, we take how many buses for the band?
7.
7 buses for the band. For the band, I'm sorry. 7 buses for the band. We have 4 buses, right?
Mm-hmm.
With all our people. And who else goes? Administration, and we hotel accommodations, food, all that.
And about 40,000 Jackson State alone.
Right, but by the time we get back, we broke.
Right.
So that we gonna stop all that. Just so y'all know. just so y'all know, it's got to be equitable for for us at Jackson. We got to do business now. Right? We got to quit playing games. We doing business. We doing big. I'm proud of you, man, because you're doing big things. Change the game.
Coming home.
Yeah.
Non-conference of this game.
So that's interesting. So he said we're gonna quit playing games. And it sounds like to me, I don't know this, but it sounds like to me that he might have even been in talks with the Heritage Classic, even though I think Fred Jones came out and said they didn't know anything about them pulling out like that. And look, Frankie, you hit right what I was going to bring up. And I'm glad you did. I'm going to put this comment up here. She says that Josh, the team's got hotel assistants. So there you go. She says Deion is really flexing his muscles. He has threatened the city of Jackson trying to get a new stadium. He is. I did see that. I saw it was on Instagram Live, I believe. And this is on Instagram also, this video, if y'all want to check it out. It's on Deion Sanders' Instagram page, going back several weeks, if not months, when he talked about the Heritage Classic. And it's going to be the last time they go. But as far as Deion Sanders in Jackson, he's like, hey, Jackson, city of Jackson, which is where Jackson, Mississippi. We're bringing y'all all this money. We need a new stadium. He said, what are y'all doing for us is we bringing all this to you. So it's very, very interesting to say the least, what Deion got going on. And y'all let me know, do you like it or not? And Frankie, when you say he's flexing his muscle, do you think that's a good thing? Because I feel like Deion is going to these HBCUs with the attitude of, hey, look, we're going to start conducting business like these big schools. And I talked to about my dad about this. He said, he said he wouldn't be surprised if he talks to Nick Saban about how to do business in these certain situations, And Deion knows how to do business for himself, but I think he wants to operate Jackson State. He doesn't care if people look at them as HBCU or not. He wants them to look at them just as big time as they do in Alabama or somebody else. Now, whether that's delusional, that's up for interpretation. But there's something I do respect about it, where you're like, hey, we deserve respect just like they do. We're bringing you money just like they are. And it's not going to be nearly the amount of money that they are. But still, is what it is. And Bob says, Deion is only doing what a coach or leader should do. Act big and be big. That is a good point, no doubt. But y'all let me know what you think about that, man. He's acting big and he's being big, He might have even told Fred Jones, hey, if y'all don't increase the payout, we're going to be out. And maybe they didn't take him seriously, and now he's up out of there, They're starting a new classic after next year. This coming year, of course, they're going to do it. But after that, they're starting a new classic somewhere else with another team. And I would imagine that pays more if they're going to go out of their way to do that. So we'll see, man. So I just want to get y'all's thoughts on that. And y'all can still continue to comment on this after the video is over as well. But that's going to do it for me, y'all. I appreciate everybody that is here to join me today. I'm so glad to be back. It feels great to be back on with y'all, joining the conversation, coming through, and joining me like y'all have on today. I appreciate every single comment, everybody that liked the video. Also, if you liked it, be sure and share this video as well if you haven't already. And those that have already done so, we definitely appreciate you as well. Stay tuned to the channel. Going to be more content coming as well from all sorts of different things. So stay tuned for my page and Bishop Bob Midgett's page for announcements on potential new stuff as well. So y'all stay tuned, man. But that's going to do it for me. And until next time, I will talk to y'all later on. I'll talk to y'all later on. So once again, appreciate you for joining me. And I am out of here.